So some pretty crazy stuff has just happened in the past day, and it obviously involves a stabbing in the UK. It's not very uncommon to see this sort of stuff and hear this sort of stuff. The UK is becoming a main place for stabbing now, and people being stabbed and stuff like that. It's a very serious thing. Now, let's get into this. So it says here, a 17-year-old suspect is in police custody after a knife attack kills 3 children. 3 children are being killed in a stabbing during a dance class in Southport, a seaside town in the northwest England. 10 people have been injured. A young male suspect has been arrested by the police. Here's what we know so far. What happened and when. At 11:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m. GMT on Monday, a knife attack took place at a Taylor Swift-themed dance yoga workshop for children. According to social media posts by the studio hosting the event, the class was for children aged 6 to 11. The event was meant to last from 10 a.m. to noon and was run by 2 women, a yoga instructor and a dance instructor. Southport is a seaside town 20 miles from Liverpool, northern Liverpool. It's a town to about 100,000 people. The incident took place on Hart Street in Southport. Both Southport and Liverpool are part of Merseyside County. What do we know about the victims? 3 children were killed. 2 of them, aged 6 and 7, died on Monday. The third girl, aged 9, died Tuesday morning as a result of her injuries sustained during the knife attack. Merseyside police said in a statement, 8 other children were injured, 5 of them in critical condition. 2 adults were also injured while trying to protect the children and are in critical condition, according to the police. Wow. I don't know what this guy's motive was. There are people, again, speculating. They're saying it's terrorism. Some people are speculating as well that this is an illegal immigrant, although apparently that has been debunked. This guy was from Wales. This is the type of stuff you don't want to hear. I know it's getting kind of a little bit ridiculous now. The knife crimes and the knife and the stabbings and everything like that in the UK are getting ridiculous. It's a very common theme now for people to be stabbed in the UK. And children stabbings surprisingly are on the rise. Now, I don't know what, again, this guy's intentions was. His intentions were just to cause as much harm as possible. Well, obviously it was, but what were the intentions behind what he did? Some people are saying that it's Islamic extremism, all sorts like this. Now, again, I don't know if we should be digging or going that over the hurdle of the jump yet, because, again, there's not that much known about what the person's done. I think the name has been released. I'm not entirely sure, but they were what's been released anyway. They are from Wales, Cardiff, I think, and they are 17 years old. What do we know about the suspect? Okay, this is about the suspect. The suspect released by the Merseyside police. Suspect is 7 from Banks, Lancashire. Oh, he's from Lancashire? Oh, some people are saying that he's from Cardiff, Wales, but either one of them, I guess. See, people just say all sorts of things. And has been arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. And the statement during quoting Chief Constable Kennedy. The suspect was born... Oh, they were born in Cardiff, the capital and the largest. The statement added that the suspect had been taken to the police station where he will be investigated by detectives. No further details of the suspect have been revealed so far. While the suspect's motives remain unclear, Merseyside police said on Tuesday that the incident is not currently being treated as a terror-related, and we are not looking for anyone else in the connection. I don't know if anyone else really is involved in this whole thing. I think it was just a one-man person, and it's very clear that their intentions were to do as much harm as possible. I don't know if I'd go as far as say this is a terrorist attack. I would actually, you know what? Yeah, I'd say it's a terrorist attack. A lot of terrorists want to cause as much harm and as much distress to people and as much shit they can cause to people and people's livelihoods and anyone, the more pride they feel in themselves, the more pride they feel in the fact they've accomplished their goals of being a twat and being an asshole to people. This is the type of stuff, unfortunately, that seems to happen because, well, we let idiots do this. Now, the guy apparently is known to the MI5 or known. He's been known for quite a while. Now, I don't know if that's exactly true. That seems to be more of a rumor that's flying about. I don't know if that has been debunked or anything yet. But this is an incredibly crazy situation. I know not long ago there was a soldier who was stabbed as well. It's stabbings in the UK. You'll hear about them quite regularly. It's not an uncommon thing for the UK to have stabbings, just like America has guns. Obviously, I'm not really going to compare them though because it just isn't a really good thing to compare. How have the UK authorities reacted? The North West Ambulance Service said it transported victims to Adler Hay Children's Hospital and Tree University Hospital and Southport District General after dispatched 13 ambulances along with the specialist resources. Home Secretary is in Southport on Tuesday morning and is slated to meet community leaders as well as Kennedy and Merseyside and Crime Commissioner Emily Sperrell. King Charles has said the attack was truly appalling and offered condolences and prayers for the victims. Horrendous and deeply shocking news emerging from Southport. Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Yeah, he said, horrendous and deeply shocking news emerging from Southport. My thoughts are with those affected. I would like to thank the police and the emergency services for their swift response. I am being kept updated on the situation. Now, a lot of people aren't very happy with Keir Starmer, the current Prime Minister of the UK. He's been a Prime Minister of this country for less than a month. In about maybe a week or so, it will be a month since Labour won the election in the UK. And I think everything has gone crazy in this past month. I don't want to blame Labour. I don't know. I don't want to make that sort of speculation. But things aren't looking too good for this country. Not just in knife, other things in the politic region. But I don't want to get into them. Some of them can be ugly and stuff like that. The UK strictly regulates gun ownership. The National Crime Agency reported that levels of firearm crimes remain among the lowest globally. The year ending in March 2024 saw the lowest level of gun violence in at least 5 years. Comparing knife crimes to gun crimes. It's horrible. This is not something you want to see. I do feel for the parents. This must be absolutely shitty. Seth Long Council is supporting the Virgil being held in Southport Town Centre later to remember the victims of yesterday's knife attack. People are being encouraged to gather outside the Atkinson Southport's Lord Street from 6 p.m. today. This was Seth Long Council as well. A fundraiser, I think, has been made for the victim. Yes, the victims, £122,000 has been raised on the Just Giving website to Adler Hay Children's Charity. So this is what the story says. We are working with Adler Hay Children's Hospital to raise money for families affected by the tragedy in Southport and raising funeral funds for the two young Swifties. Three young Swifties now who have tragically passed. Every donation through this link goes directly to the verified charity below, which will in turn help make a difference to those impacted in a great time of sadness. This is something you don't want to hear, and it must be a shitty situation for the parents, realising this. You drop your children off at this sort of gang dance class. Maybe I don't know if they were there. I think they dropped them off. I'm guessing they dropped them off. That doesn't really matter. But you drop them off, and you're like, oh, they'll be safe there. But they'll be all right. And next minute you realize, and you maybe get a call, or you maybe get announced that your child has been stabbed to death by some crazy lunatic with a knife. It must be a shitty situation, that, and hopefully something is done about knives in this country. It's damn right needs to be. I don't know what's going to be announced in the coming weeks about knife crime. I know there are rappers, there are other social media influencers, not just that, but they were supposed to be doing something about knife crimes, banning a certain amount of knives. But unfortunately, because knives are so accessible in the world, like you have them in your kitchen, it's kind of hard to sort of put a restriction on them, isn't it? I guess you could have a license for it, but then again, I don't know how you would stop the knife crime. I guess searches and stuff like that. I don't really know what would be the true answer to stopping knife crime, because that, again, knives are pretty accessible. They're probably more accessible than guns. They're very accessible. So it's very understandable why knife crimes keep coming on, and they're probably going to get worse in the future. And not just knife crimes, a lot of crimes going on in the UK at the moment. But knife crimes seem to be quite a big thing, and they're taking a lot of people. A lot of lives have been lost. Some of them are gang related, but it was a horrible thing, man. I don't know that much has been released about the actual suspect who's done this. I'm guessing more information will be released about them in the coming days. It's a shitty situation, it really is. A lot of people are not very happy with the Prime Minister, and rightfully so. They've gave a half-assed response. It's a response, it's sort of a protection response. The thing is, these days, you should be protected. As a child. And now I'm not blaming the instructors. Of course they tried to do their best. There's only so much you can do when someone's banishing a blade. It's a horrible thing. This country is failing its people. You should feel safe and protected in your own country, especially a country that likes to brag about the fact that it doesn't have bad gun crimes and stuff like that, and has legal put a license behind guns. That's one part of the problem done. That's brilliant. There's very few. There probably is a few firearm cases, maybe every 10 years or so. A lot of them are illegally smuggled in. We probably do have quite a fair bit of firearms on the street, although it's probably not as bad as the US, obviously. There's probably, on the street, maybe 1,000 firearms, maybe less than that, to be honest with you. Well, that might sound a lot, and obviously it is a lot, but a lot of them are illegal smuggled weapons. I guess that more puts a blame onto actually how on earth they got into the country. But knives, because they're so accessible, that's why a lot of people use them in these sorts of things. And it's something you don't want. Imagine you're supposed to feel protected in your country. You're supposed to feel great in your country, but you don't feel great in your country. Man, what a shame! What a big shame this country has done. They're letting their people down, and it's not surprising. They're letting their people down because again, you should feel safe in the country you're in, and if you don't, especially the UK again. And dropping your kids off, have a great time at that dance class. and some retarded, let's be honest, guy comes up and thinks he's a big man. I don't know what his intentions were in this entire thing, but clearly his intentions were to cause as much pain and suffering. I'd say that's a terrorism attack, in my opinion. I think that's what a lot of terrorists do, in fact. They want to cause a lot of pain and suffering to people, and how much pain and suffering they can cause to people. And clearly they've done their mission, I guess. It's now time to, I guess, investigate them and find out what the true cause. Now, I don't think they're going to be very vocal. They're not going to be very cooperative, I don't think. Who exactly knows, though? They could be. But this sort of stuff needs to stop. It really does. Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, has given some half-assed sort of things about this. Instead of going, I'm deeply sorry, actually start speaking about what you're going to do about knife crime, because knife crime, again, in the UK, is taking a turn for the worst. And a lot of people are not happy with everything that's going on. I do think... I don't know. I just do. I think it's a disgrace this country has become, with the whole knife crime situation. Not just knife crime, but wow, this country has fallen back into depths that I don't even know. It's wow. Do I think it's terror? I do think it's terrorism. I think he acted in a terrorist way. Now, I do think they maybe should bring the death penalty back. There is no way this guy is going out of prison or jail. There is no way. If he doesn't get killed in prison, I'd be very surprised. I'm sure a lot of people in prison who have families won't take any of this, stabbing little children. I don't think a lot of them are going to take this very lightly. Doesn't really matter what the crimes they've done. A lot of them are going to be very, very pissed off with this sort of stuff. And I don't think it's going to come off very lightly, this. If they are sentenced, now, who knows what they're going to get sentenced. They'll probably end up getting out in a few years anyway. This is... I'm presuming there are other people obviously in critical condition. There could be more people that could end up dying. That is, again, unconfirmed. Let's hope they push through. But there could be more people that end up dying. And that's just obviously adding more fuel to the fire for his sentencing. In my opinion, I think he should be sentenced to life, never come out, and hopefully, well, we don't want to say this, but hopefully, just something carefully happens in prison, in jail for him, a nice little parting gift, because you can't do that, man. You are one messed up person. And I'm guessing that's why they're not... I think they have to be 18 to be revealing details about them like this. But, yeah, it's not a very nice situation, and I think these type of things need to be solved. And hopefully there is something done about knife crimes and knives in this country that will help things like this, or help prevent these sort of things happening, because they're only going to get worse if the law and the governments and that don't do something about them. What a shame the UK has become.